Hello, I'm Brad Sutliff from RPS ISG International here at WBOC's historic Studio D. You're watching Delmarva Live.
It's great to have Brad here, and wait till you hear about the origins of Preakness Palooza. It's awesome.
Pretty cool.
The town of Oxford in Talbot County, one of the oldest towns in Maryland and the oldest on the Eastern Shore.
Yeah, so many aspects of the town attract people to either live in or visit Oxford. And this coming weekend, everything that gives Oxford its character and charm will be celebrated. Brian Spiros visited the area. He shows us around town and tells us how history put Oxford on the map, quite literally.
Ask anyone in Oxford what makes their town so special, and they will tell you.
It's the beautiful, beautiful scenic area, the water. People are drawn to water.
Peace and quiet. It's a small town. It's very friendly. Everybody's on first name terms with everyone else.
I think it's our sense of community. Whether you're a resident or a visitor, just the sense of happiness and wonder in our town.
Oxford was founded in 1683. This man here, Robert Morris Sr., played an instrumental role in the town's growth.
Robert Morris Sr. was the man that really put Oxford on the map. He brought sound trade practices here and took this trading port, which had been strictly a tobacco trading port, and turned it into the richest port on the eastern seaboard.
Meet Oxford resident David Foster. For the last 20 years, he's been portraying Morris for various occasions. He says when Morris came to Oxford from England in 1738, he transformed the town and made it an important part of international commerce. Fast forward to present day, the water is still important to Oxford.
There's a lot of boatyards in Oxford. Considering the size of the town, we've got more boatyards than any other business, I think.
Graham Norbury is general manager of the Oxford Boatyard. He says it's very common for people to sail right into Oxford and explore.
There's just so many things you can do. It's a small town. There's water on three sides of it. It's pretty hard to avoid the water.
Whether you come by boat, bike, or car, everything is within walking distance, such as the Oxford Museum. Ellen Anderson is the executive director.
Well, it's interesting how it started. Back in the 60s, nearly 50 years ago, a man here in town came across a lot of pieces of broken pottery as he was doing excavation work. And he decided, I'm going to start a museum. So he took those pieces and put them on a board. And he decided to ask some of his friends, and they formed a board, and they started the Oxford Museum.
Some of the items in here date back to the 1700s. Everything from the first seal of Oxford to this lighthouse beacon.
It was on a lighthouse right out here in the river. And that particular lighthouse was taken down in an ice storm some years ago. This is a very small museum, and yet we have this wonderful lens that's valued at quite a bit of money.
And then there's this clock, which attracts a great deal of attention.
The oyster clock is a clock that's been made out of very large oyster shells, so it obviously was made a long time ago when oysters were much larger than they are today. They're very large, and many of the shells have the face of a lady painted. And we all have always been wondering who that person was that painted those shells and who those people were. Were they his girlfriends, his wives, his friends he met along the way?
Right across from the Oxford Museum, the town park.
It's in the center of town. It's right near the water. We've created a living shoreline here so that the children can come. It's almost like an amphitheater where the children can play in the sand, parents can sit on the side and watch. The river is beautiful. Sailing races go on by on Friday nights.
Judy Bixler lives in Oxford. She also owns the Oxford Bellevue Ferry, which connects one part of Talbot County to the other.
The ferry is a great draw. It's been here since 1683. This is our 330th year.
And some people will even ride the ferry for the sake of ice cream.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? What flavour can I get for you today?
A popular spot in Oxford, the Scottish Highland Creamery.
Taking the dogs out for a stroll today?
Yes.
More than 600 flavors of ice cream, all handmade by owner Victor Barlow. This place has also helped put Oxford on the map. So have the various town events. Take, for example, the Picket Fence Tour, which starts next month. Various artists paint these fences. They're then put on display for people to enjoy throughout town. Come the fall, they're auctioned off. Then there's Oxford Day, which is coming up.
It's a celebration. It's a celebration for children. It's an old-fashioned day. We have a little parade. There's community activities in the park for children. There's a dog walk. There's a run. It's just a whole compilation. There's bands. It's just a day to celebrate Oxford, to celebrate the beginning of the season for folks to come and visit.
Just a good time for the whole family.
Just to see how a small town of 600 or so people can come together and everybody in town is a part of it.
The very definition of community, it seems Oxford is a prime example of how little towns can still do big things.
And during the busy spring, summer, and fall months, roughly 4,000 people visit the town of Oxford. And here are the details for Oxford Day in Talbot County. It's set to take place this Saturday, April 27th. Events are planned throughout the whole day for the family.
Looks like a good time for all.
Yeah.
Well, from one great event to another, not everybody can make it to Pimlico for the Preakness Stakes, but that's okay.
We'll learn more about an alternative right here on Delmarva that not only gives you the best seats in the house, you can win big too. And best of all, you're helping out the United Way. Delmarva Life will be right back.